Hello besties, today we are doing a fun design, the upside down pineapple tumbler tutorial. But before then, let me welcome you to our YouTube channel. Thanks for being here. Make sure you subscribe to all our social media handles for everything Misfit Makers and click that subscribe button for any new content. And check out our website and our Patreon. Okay, besties, we are going to get started with a Big Betty. This is a 40 ounce from the Tipsy Magnolia. I've already removed the handle. You can do that with a screwdriver. I didn't do it under camera because I did need AB's help to take it off, as it does take a little bit more strength than I could do. Plus, my nails were not letting me be great. So I recommend that you either get the help or you could also leave them on. Some people choose to leave on their handles and epoxy right over them. I have started with my pop of color in the color bright yellow. I'm going to do a nice thin coat. Remember, with pop of color, thin coats are your friend. It's okay if it looks streaky. We want it to have texture in this occasion. So next we're going to take some more pop of color while my tumbler dries. You want to make sure that your first coat dries before you go in with your second coat. As you see, I pulled a couple of yellows, one of the same yellow that I used earlier, and then like a lighter, brighter yellow. Remember, we are trying to create texture and layers to our tumbler. Since this is not a 3D tumbler, we want to give it that 3D effect without the 3D work, if you know what I mean. And really quick, while I'm painting here, these tumblers were made for my friends Ashley and Will from the Craft Crate. You have seen us use a lot of their products. They're 3D printed toppers. We love them, and we did a tumbler exchange for our cruise, and we happened to draw their names, and I just thought it would be something funny, something creative, and a once in a lifetime type of design that I could make. And there was a lot of inside jokes about the upside down pineapples, and really we just really like pineapples. Okay, it's nothing to read into it, but it's just a little fun design. So anyway, back to the design. What I did, as you saw, I went around adding different colors. Now I'm using all my greens for the bottom to kind of create the leaves or the stems or whatever they're called on the pineapple crown. And I'm using a variation of greens to create the leaves. Here in this occasion, I did not allow my paint to dry. I didn't want it to dry because I wanted my colors to mix a little bit. So this is where it's okay to layer on your pop of color. Just the same I did with the yellow. Before it dried, I added a little bit of brown, a little bit of dark yellow. That way it would create some more dimension. This is the only time I say to layer your pop of color before it dries, because you do want it to mesh. But before you do anything else, you want to make sure your cup is fully dry. Remember, you have lots of coats of paint. So here it is after I've already put one coat of epoxy. It's still curing. As you see, it's nice and sparkly. I added some additive. My favorite additive, of course, is from the glitter guy. It is actually a mica in the color Ultra White. A little bit goes a long way. So here we go. It's all epoxied and dried. It only has one coat. Next, you want to sand it. You want to sand off any high spots, but also remember that you only have one coat of epoxy, so don't go too far. Next, we're going to take out all the greens that you have. I'm going to be using acrylic markers from Arteza in all the greens. Some of them I didn't use, but most of them I did. I think one of those ended up looking a little turquoise, and I set it aside. I think it's that far one on the right. But anyway, we're going to be using these to kind of give definition to our pineapple crown, pineapple leaves. Don't overthink it, guys. Art is subjective. You're just trying to give it the illusion of a pineapple. It's not going to look like a real pineapple, obviously. But as long as, people can see it and get the idea, that's all you need. And if you make a mistake, you could always grab a paper towel with a little bit of alcohol and wipe it down before it's completely dry. So after I went with one green, I grabbed another green kind of to highlight any of those leaves. Again, there's no right or wrong. I actually did 2 of these, so my second one actually turned out a little bit better once I felt less intimidated and just kind of let the pen do its thing. It got a little bit better. But again, if you don't like what you see, grab some alcohol and wipe it down. So all I'm going to do here is, again, create that that texture, the leaf effect, and just kind of go at it around, kind of going into my yellow a little bit, kind of to create that effect of the pineapple. Next, I'm going to grab my gold little fine point pen. This is completely optional. You could also use white or black or whatever, just to kind of give it a little pop of color, pop of accent. So after that dries, you don't have to epoxy it yet. You can go ahead and apply your decals. I just kept it simple. I just put her name in this very beautiful sparkly vinyl from Vinyl Fun for Everyone. And these little, what are they called? Not shells, scales, pineapple scales. And this vinyl is also from Vinyl Fun for Everyone. It's like the opal green color changing. And make sure you put your little pineapple, what did I call them? Not scales, pineapple scales. I don't know. I can't remember the word. Upside down. Don't put them the other way because remember, it's an upside down pineapple. And I just did a few for little accent marks. I didn't want it to overtake it. I did a couple in the front and a couple in the back, and I did the same for both. After this is done, you want to go ahead and epoxy it at least 2 more times, clean it up, and make sure when you epoxy it, you keep it away from where the handles go. Try to keep it very thin around there. Try not to build up so your handle goes in there really nicely. So as you see here, I've applied all my decals. After this, oh, I forgot, you got to quick coat it. You don't want any of your epoxy to repel, especially when using those acrylic markers and the shiny vinyl, any kind of opals or glittery or metallic vinyls. You want to seal it with quick coat. Really quick, let it dry completely, and then you can go ahead and epoxy it. Make sure that the epoxy is dry between layers, and then it's ready to go. So as you see here, I just finished epoxying it, and it's nice and beautiful and shiny. Sorry for the effects. This is the only video I had left, but here it is. Here is the upside down and the right side up. I hope you liked this tutorial. It was a fun little tutorial. Thank you guys for all your support. Make sure you subscribe to our channel and check out next week to see what else we upload. See you guys later.